Hey guys, welcome to math. Alright, so this week we've started adding two-digit numbers. And remember, a two-digit number is a number that has two numbers in it. Two-digit number would be like 29 because it has a 2 and a 9, or 77 because it has a 7 and a 7. That's what two-digit means. It's got two numbers in it. So we have talked about several different ways that we can do this. The first way we talked about was that trying to make a 10 number strategy. That was what we've been doing for the last few days. So I'd like you to try to pause this video, and I want you to get a piece of paper, and I want you to try to do these two with that make a 10 number strategy that we've been working on. So use that strategy to work these two out and find your answer. And then replay the video and check you and see if you got it right, okay? All right, good luck. Okay, so you have worked the make a 10 number strategy. And remember, in the make a 10 number strategy, you find that biggest number and you're trying to make it into a 10 number. Remember, a 10 number is a number we say when we count by 10, like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Those are the 10 numbers. So 17 would probably need to be turned into, well, it's too big to be turned into 10. But it's not too big to turn into 20. 20 would be the next one it would need to turn into. And to turn it into a 20, we should know that 17 needs 3 more, because 17, 18, 19, 20, it needs 3 more. And remember, we kind of steal that 3 from this 6. And now we have turned the 17 into a 20. But since we came over here, remember, and we took it from the 6, he's only going to have 3 left because he gave 3 to the 17. So then we think in our head, well, 20 plus 3, and 20 plus 3 is pretty easy. We know 20 plus 3 is 23. Awesome. All right, and then 58 plus 7. Let's see if you got this one right. So 58 is what I want to turn into a 10 number. And it's not going to be 10 or 20 or 30 or 40 or 50. It'll be 60 because that's the next 10 number. See, it's already in the 50s, but it can turn to 60. So how many more will 58 need to turn into 60? 58, 59, 60. It needs 2 more. And remember, I'm going to get that 2 from the 7. Now I've turned 58 into 60. But if I took 2 from the 7, I would only have 5 left, right? So I've got to think 60 plus 5. I know that kind of doesn't look like a 5. I'm going to fix him a little bit. There, now he looks like a 5. 60 plus 5 is 65. Yep. Very good. Did you guys get 23 and 65? Good. Good. All right, we also worked on that make a 10 number strategy even if we had two-digit numbers. As you can see, both of the numbers are two-digit. They both have 2 numbers in them. We do it the same way, though. We pick which one that we want to turn into a 10 number, and a lot of times it is easier just to stick with the largest number or the biggest number. So 67 is the biggest number in this one. And what 10 number could I turn 67 into? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Ooh, 70, because it's already at 60. The next one I could turn it into would be 70. So how many will it need to be turned into 70? 67, 68, 69, 70. It needs 3. So if I give it 3, now he's 70. But remember, I took the 3 from the 28. So I've got to figure out how many does 28 still have. Ooh, that was kind of hard. 28, take away 3. So 28, 27, 26, 25. So this one's only got 25 now because he gave 3 away. So then I think in my head, 70 plus 25. And if you remember, one way we can just put the ones together. So if I have 0 and then I have 5, I'll have 5 ones, right? And then I can do the tens. I have 7 and I have 2. 7 and 2 would make 9. So I have 95. Or remember, we could just stack it up like this. And remember, we do the ones first and then we do the tens. So either way, we still got 95 as an answer. Good job. All right, so what about this one? 39 plus 42. What'd you get? Okay, well, let's see if you're right. I'm going to turn 40. Well, I'm going to turn 39 into the next one just because it's already so close. 39, the next 10 number I could turn it into would be 10, 20, 30. I could turn it into 40. And I know it just needs one more. That's why I went ahead and turned that one into 40, because it just needed one. And I took the 1 from the 42. That would leave 41, because I just took 1 away. So then I have to think, 40 plus 41. And remember, I can do it laying down like this. I can just put the ones together. 0 and 1 would make 1 1. And then 4 tens and 4 tens would make 8 tens. Or remember, you can also stack it up and you'd still get 81. You can do it laying down or standing up, stacking up. But good, you got 81. Good job. All right, so that brings us to today's lesson. And today's lesson is going to be a new and a different way to work out these addition problems. I know that we've already learned a way, but there are lots of ways that you can add, and my job is to teach you all of the ways, and then you can pick. So making the 10 number was one way. This new way we're going to learn is called the break apart strategy. Okay, so you ready to learn how to break apart? All right, so here is the break apart strategy. So to do the break apart strategy, you have to break both of these numbers into tens and ones. And what I mean by breaking them into tens and ones is you're going to expand it. Remember when we learned how to do expanded form? That's what breaking it apart means. So like expanded form for 53, remember, would have been 50 plus 3. Because it had 3 ones, and then the 5 tens make 50. So 50 plus 3 was expanded form. And then we have to expand 29, or break apart 29. So 29 would turn into 20 plus 9, right? Because it has 9 ones, and the 2 tens make 20. Now that I've done that, I can add up the ones, and then I can add up the tens. So if I add up the ones, I'd end up with 12, right? Because 9, 10, 11, 12. And if I add up the tens, I'd end up with, that's 0, and 5 plus 2 is 7. I'd end up with 70. But I'm not done, because my answer isn't 70, 12. I have to put the 70 and the 12 together to get the answer. So 70 plus 12, I know that 0 and 2 make 2 ones, and 7 and 8 make 8 tens. So I've got 82 as my answer, and that's the break apart strategy. And remember, down here where I got 82, if you can't do it when it was laying down, remember you can stack it up and do 70 plus 12. You're still going to end up with 82. It didn't matter if you stand it up or you lay it down like right here. But 82 is my final answer. And I know that's a lot of work to do to find this answer, but a lot of this we're going to get to where we can do it in our head, and then you'll be able to figure out these addition problems without any paper eventually. I've had kids that have done this all in their head and found the answer without having to write anything down. We're just writing something down till we get used to it. So let's try another break apart strategy. So break apart strategy. The first thing you have to do in the break apart strategy is break both the numbers up. And that means expand them. So 37 would turn into, of course, 30 plus 7. And 46 would turn into 40 plus 6. Is that all we do? Are we done now? No. Remember, after that, you have to add up the ones and then add up the tens. So if I add up the ones, I'd get 13 because 7 plus 6 is 13. And then if I add up the tens, I'd end up with 70 because 0 plus 0 is 0 and 3 plus 4 is 7. So I've got 70. So I have a 70 and a 13. Is that my answer? 70 and a 13? No, remember the next thing I have to do is put that 70 and the 13 together to find an answer. And remember, you can stack it up if you need to, 70 plus 13. Or you should be able to do it in your head and know that 0 plus 3 is 3 and 7 plus 1 is 8. And you come up with 83 as your final answer. It wasn't so bad, was it, this time? Are we getting a little faster? Okay, well, let's try another one, another break apart strategy. So on the break apart, remember the first thing you do is, you've got to break both the numbers up. You have to expand them. So 42 would turn into 40 plus 2, and 37 would turn into 30 plus 7. Is that all we do? Are we done? No. Good. We had to put the ones together. And then you put the tens together. So 7 and 2 more would make 9. And 40 plus 30 would also be 70, right? 0 plus 0 is 0. 4 plus 3 is 7. So 79. 70 and a 9. Is that our answer? Nope. Remember, the last thing you have to do is put the 70 and the 9 together. And if you add up 70 plus 9, you should get 79 as your final answer. Alright, I know this is kind of confusing and it's a new way you've never learned, but I hope if you've watched and you've practiced carefully with me that you are kind of picking up on how to do this break apart strategy where we expand the numbers. On these three, I would like you to try it on your own. And then I'm going to be meeting with you in kind of small groups. And I want to see your paper. I want to see how you did, and we'll talk about it and make sure you're kind of getting this, okay? All right, so on that piece of paper, it can be the same piece of paper you did the work on earlier. Try these three and try to do it with the break apart strategy like we just learned. Remember, the first thing you need to do in the break apart strategy, first thing, is you have to expand both the numbers or break them apart. The second thing you have to do is you have to add the ones and the tens. That's an and sign. Add the ones and tens. And then you have to put the ones and tens together, however many you got. So put all the ones and tens together to get an answer. I'm going to run out of room. Put all the ones and tens together. I don't have room to write together, but expand it, add the ones and tens, and then put all the ones and tens together to get your answer. And that's how we do the break apart strategy. Okay? All right. So try these three, and then I will meet with you with small groups, and we'll go over it and make sure everybody understands, okay? Okay. I'll see you all later.